Guess you're wondering, what's this doing here? I figured out some things. Put my mind to the test of, I don't know, doing something different, I guess. The phone was cool, but I think it was time to get back to doing it on the computer, on my PC to be more exact. I just figured it'd just be easier instead of going back and forth and doing it on the laptop and then recording it and editing it. You know, on the computer, just download it there, and then we're good. Yeah, we're back on the computer now. Again, my PC to be exact. But that's besides the point. Anyways, let's just get to it. Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? What's up, my community? We are back with another episode on this podcast. Me, as always, I'm your host with the most, the best, better than the rest, Mr. Mac Diesel. And we are here on another episode of The Bakery. Been a while. Been about 2 weeks exact. Not sure. Just wanted to take a little break because, like I've told y'all before, I just kind of was running low on some fumes. So just kind of took a break, give myself a chance to figure out what I wanted to do. And I eventually got something, and it popped in my head quicker than I thought it would. So I did some writing down and came up with a couple ideas, and I finally figured out what it is that I would love to this episode to be about. And I've talked about it for a while. I've made some planning, had some ideas come up about, and I've decided that I think my next step is going to be having a guest on my show. Not show, podcast. I guess you can call it a show, but it's more of a podcast than anything. And the reason why I've finally gotten to this point is because I've been doing it so long, with just me. I felt like it would be cool for you guys to get a perspective from somebody else's point of view, somebody else's walk of life. Even with that, possibly even having a conversation about the same stuff that I talk about, whether that be movies and friends, studio sesh, and a Bible verse. It just depends, Everybody has their thing. I'm not one to force anything on anybody, but it's worth a try. We'll see what happens. But yes, I do plan on doing that. After this episode, I just wanted to kind of talk about it and express how I felt about it, just so y'all have an idea of what direction I'm headed towards. Without further ado, let's get ready to make some magic. Let's get it popping. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it going. So what does it look like to have my first guest on my podcast? It looks like, I wouldn't even say a lot. It just looks like a very planned out, very basic, very to the point kind of episode. I just, when it comes to it, it's about being transparent. It's about being scared just as much as they are probably intimidated or scared. And some people are not. I think a lot of people do like to talk about certain topics, some more sensitive than the other, and some people don't. And that's okay. Not everybody's a talker and an explanation person like I am, and some people like me. But I do think that it's cool to try to implement this into what it is that I'm trying to build and make happen. So a lot of the times when I do talk to people, it is kind of like having a podcast. You guys are bouncing ideas off each other, talking about, like I said, certain topics. There's just always something interesting to talk about with people. Again, if they want to talk about it. If not, that's always okay. But I feel like transparency is important in any type of situation that you're in, whether it be in a relationship, friendship, or whatever else. When I start doing this and when I have the first guest, the way I would like for it to go is just having an introduction, then that person talking about their self-journey. Because again, I do this because I want to help others. I want to give people an example, a piece of a walk of life for somebody else that may be going through the same thing that somebody's already living. And it could be anything and everything, but we don't know until we hear that conversation from that person. Not only that self-journey, but, goals for their life, advice for others, advice that could benefit a person that's watching the episode that day, It's just so many different directions that it can go. And not only that, not only just those things that I've named, but just to have fun. A lot of times I have these friend groups that each person is a different personality, and in those different personalities comes a different aspect of life, comes a different conversation, comes a different opinion on certain things. And that kind of makes me nervous because not only is there going to be a different explanation, but there could also be a disagreement. So because there's that fear, you never know what the outcome can amount to. I just had maybe a conversation possibly a while back about music and what it means to me and how can it affect people and what it how it makes me happy in a sense. So we'll take R&B music for an example. All R&B music is not sad. Not all R&B music is meant to, I guess, influence that emotion. For some, yes, of course. But for me, I don't think so. I like R&B music because that's what I grew up on. That's what I know the best. That's what I enjoy listening to. There's so many different times that I'll be in the car with somebody listening to it and they're like, why are you listening to such sad music? Why is this song so sad? And it's like, it's not that I want to listen to it because I'm sad. I want to listen to it because I enjoy it. There's so many different R&B artists that they go through things and they make music about it, but that's not always the case. I always tell myself, if I was an artist with the music, I mean, I have a music talent, but if I was well known and I had that type of lifestyle, I would make music about anything. It doesn't have to always be sad, but it could be about a good time. It could be about anything. It's just, I feel like it goes based off of that person's emotions, that person's motive in the moment. So it's not always just supposed to be sad. I just like the music, and it's not that that's the only thing I listen to. That's just my favorite genre. So then, even with that, I like listening to rap music. Some people like rap music because they feel like they live that lifestyle, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Music just brings out different emotions, different vibes for everybody. Not everybody has to agree with the same type of thing. And that's what's going to be cool for me when I do have a first guest, is that just hearing their opinion on a specific topic that we talk about. Just to kind of wrap up that point, I just hope that when I start doing this, it's as transparent as can get, and I can learn a little bit more from somebody that I don't typically talk to every day, or even if I do talk to them every day, just hearing their side of things, hearing their opinion on whatever it is that may be going on. I feel like that'd be cool for me. That way I can, just be more aware, and just kind of just have that transparent moment and an open mind on whatever it is that encourages them to have the life that they own and that they have. Another point I kind of want to bring up with the having guest thing is not being worried about what somebody else is going to say. So what I mean when I say that is, let's say I do an episode and for whatever reason there's a negative comment, there's a negative vibe that comes after that. And it could be on social media, it could be on anything and everything. What that kind of thing that makes me nervous about it is because I would want to retaliate and say something back to whoever it is that's making the comment, but I would also feel stupid in a way. And I'll explain why. Reason why I think I would feel stupid, why is it that someone else's opinion as far as their journey, right? Why is it that someone feels like they can comment on that and say something that's mean or ugly and try to make a person feel like their life is just whatever? And I don't condone that. To me, that's kind of like bullying. You're downplaying somebody else's life to make yourself feel better, or try to prove to them that their stuff is wrong. And I'm not saying everybody's like that. I don't know everybody, but I can sense and feel negativity from all different directions. And the reason why I feel like that stuff is kind of just wrong is because in what way, shape, or form do you get off by just being that way for no reason? We don't live this life to be judgmental. We don't live it to shame other people for how they want to be. We don't knock on anybody's parade that has built themselves up for so long that all of a sudden now they feel like they can't because they're being judged or talked about or just being downplayed. It's not cool. It's not nice. I, for one, when I talk to that person, I would want them to know, like, hey, in this interview, I want you to be as honest with yourself as well as with me as much as you can. I want to know the real you. I want to know and learn the stuff that you like. I want to know what it is that you do for a living that you enjoy so much. And in that moment, I want to exploit that to people that are watching and see if I can build a connection between that person behind the screen versus, or not versus, but that person behind the screen with the person that's explaining it as well as with me. Like, how can we all help each other? And that's what makes life so cool, is that you can help each other in a way that's beneficial for the whole group, and not necessarily the whole group, but just anyone and everyone. I'm all about spreading positivity. I'm all about spreading love. I'm all about helping. It just makes me feel better knowing that I did my part on helping a person find a talent, create a friendship, grow a bond, develop a love for anything and everything, whether that be for a person, a thing, or just a hobby. It just all ties together in my book, in my eyes. I just feel, and I say that to conclude that point and say that everybody's life is their own. You can't dictate or predict what somebody is supposed to be or where their life is supposed to go. Everybody's journey is their own, and you have to be willing to accept that you're your own person, no matter what it is. It's just how it is. And so, to go forward, goals for life and advice for others, that would be kind of the direction I would take next for the guest. It's just it's a point that I feel that kind of just keeps the motion going. Reason being is, I know I do this every other week, every week. There could be somebody that hears what I'm saying, and it may not click to them, but could have somebody else that could be saying something that clicks to them more than what I said to them. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. There's some people that are just more intelligent than I am. I'm not saying that I'm dumb or anything, but there are smarter people out there in this world. And although I hate to feel like that, like I'm not smart enough, but I know I am. I just know that some people just know a little bit more than I do. Am I willing to try to learn different stuff? Absolutely, 100%. Am I going to allow the fact that somebody else knows more than me to affect what I'm doing? No, I won't, because I know that there's a chance I could learn something from them that I didn't know, or that I could have a better understanding, a much more effective speech that could gather more people to come listen to what I have to say and be encouraged by my words. And I know it's a short point, but I just say all that to conclude with, be willing to have an open mind, be willing to have a gracious heart and an open heart, to the point where you're not deflecting or you're not just knocking anybody. We're all trying to make it in this world. We're all trying to get somewhere. So just be a gracious human being and just come from a place of love. And then finally, just to kind of conclude the whole point of how I would want this to be and how I plan on having it to go going forward, it's just having a conversation with somebody. So what I mean when I say that, I mean more of like a continued conversation. Just because I'm going for a certain way of the episode doesn't mean I can't have some type of conversation. We could talk about anything. We can talk about puppies. We can talk about the football game we saw. We could talk about anything and everything. I feel like it's more authentic that way. I feel like it comes from a genuine place, because you never know what somebody's going through that day. They could be just having the hardest day, and because we had this thing scheduled, they don't want to disappoint me. So a simple just asking, like, hey, how are you today? How's your mental? Did you accomplish anything great today? Do you want to accomplish anything right now that you're working on? It just ties into what it is that our end goal is. As far as mine, I just want to make somebody feel as comfortable as I possibly can. There's no reason for it to be a strict 1, 2, 3. All right, we're done. Moving on. No, everybody deserves a chance to just be in a place of a vibe and know that they can be themselves and not feel like they have to be a robot and no emotions and blah, 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 blah. No. When you come to the Bakery Podcast, one thing's for certain and one thing's for sure. You are family. Number one priority. 2, I'm going to show you love the way God shows me love and the way God shows everybody else love. I'm not going to sit here and bring up topics that aren't meant to be brought up, because that's not what kind of environment I want to create. If you're open and you're willing to say that kind of stuff, sure, by all means, go ahead. But I'm not going to press you to pushing that button like, come on, tell me. That's not my business. That's not my place to be asking that kind of question. If you want to tell me, then cool. That means you trust me. But if you don't, then that's also okay. I just want you to know that I'm going to treat you with the same respect that you decided to treat me with when you accepted the offer to come on to my podcast. I've seen it all the time, and I've never understood why that has to be a part of conversation on the podcast. And most of the time I know it's just for entertainment purposes, but this is not a HBO special. This is not a let me get in your business and let everybody else know your business type of thing. This is just a sit down conversation with people that I trust and that I love with my heart, and a space where we can be safe and we can just be open to a certain extent. Just to finally wrap that up, I just want to say that, again, everybody's loved. We're all meant to be on this place. We're all meant to be on this planet. And just to kind of shed light on certain stuff that has transpired in the past or recently, again, I want to let people know that no matter what it is that you're going through, no matter what it is that you're dealing with, no matter what emotions may be running through your head, just remember that it is okay to be not okay. Be willing to talk to somebody. Be willing to want to have that conversation with somebody. Even when you feel like you're not heard, somebody's going to sit there and somebody's going to listen. I hate the fact that some people decide to unalive themselves because they don't feel heard. And that's what makes me so passionate about mental health and going to therapy, especially as a man. I know oftentimes a lot of men just don't feel that love and that compassion from other people. And I know sometimes I don't feel that love and that compassion from other people. With prayer and surrounding myself with the right surrounding, I find myself being interactive with the right crowd. So I just want to put that out there and remind everybody that doing certain things is just not always the right way. It's not going to benefit anybody. If anything, you're hurting your loved ones, the people that may need you, the people that look up to you, the people that see you in a way that you don't see yourselves. I promise you, it's okay. It's okay to have a conversation and be open in whatever it is that you're feeling and whatever it is that you're dealing with. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody's feeling that same way. And again, that's why I do this, is because I want people to know that I'm dealing with the same stuff they could be possibly dealing with, and that they're not alone. They're going to find peace. They're going to be better. They're going to get better. And they're going to find a place of peace that they've never experienced before. So don't ever forget that, man. Don't ever forget we have a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. And you'll always be able to express that in many ways that you see peaceful to you. So don't forget it. But now that we got all that mushy stuff out of the way, it's time to get to a great session that I love to call Studio Sesh. Let's just talk about a few things that's been going on, what's happening, what's going on with me. I got a ticket to the Chris Brown concert. I originally bought one to Dallas. Then he came out with more dates to San Antonio. Mr. Brown, I'm upset about you. I'm upset with you about that, because I literally bought that ticket and now I'm trying to sell it for a different price. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. It's not till September, so people have time to get the ticket. But that's besides the point I'm trying to make here. Very excited for this concert. Can't wait to be there. First time I'll see my favorite artist in person in a show. So I'm like, whoa, this is about to be the most lit experience of my life. I'm just like, I still can't believe I got a ticket to that. And that was something I had planned to do for a very long time. Even though I'm going by myself, which that's the best part about it. I don't have to worry about nobody else. I just, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to be talking about it for a very long time. But other than that, Justin Bieber, been a lot of things said about this man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he's kind of like, not necessarily being weird, but it's just kind of, it's different from what I'm seeing from the normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, is he on drugs? Like, is he okay? Does he need a prayer? Does he need I don't know, like, does he need a therapist? Like, Justin Bieber is one of my favorite artists, and I genuinely hope he is okay. I know he's probably going through a phase right now, which we all go through a phase. I've been through them. I know friends that have been through them. It's just like, it's just rare and scary to see that out of nowhere from him. So, yeah, it just kind of freaked me out. But I know he's going to be all right. He's a God-fearing man. So, whatever it is that's going on, he's going to get through it for sure. 100%. I believe that. Yeah. And then after that, I want to talk about this, the way that Kendrick and The Weeknd and some of these artists are having these concerts, and why are they so expensive? Why am I going to pay $1,000 to go see an artist that really, I don't know, they're not bad artists. I'm not going to sit here and dog any artist because they're making a lot more money than I ever will. Yeah, bro. $1,000 for a ticket? Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? That makes absolutely zero sense. I'm not going to go pay you $1,000 to go sit there and listen to the same 8 songs that you play from this new album instead of the old album. Because I know that's what's going to happen. That's pretty much what's going to happen. You're going to play these songs and not do the classics, and that's frustrating. Nobody wants to sit through that. I know I don't want to sit through it. I wouldn't dare sit through it. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad artist, but golly, $1,000 plus? You can kiss my grits with that. And then finally, I kind of want to talk about Christian rap, man. Christian rap is really making a big impact on the world. I love the fact that I'm seeing a lot of people turn towards God and find satisfaction in listening to Christian rap. Because honestly, it sounds better than a lot of rap that's out right now. I will be 100% honest with that. It just sounds just so much better. So much better. And now we get to the final part of our podcast, this episode. I don't have a Bible verse for this week, but we are going to go ahead and move forward and go to movies and friends. I recently just saw the movie Sinners. Boy, oh boy, was that a movie to see. It was very interesting. It was very, in a way, scary. It had a lot going on, and it was a lot that I didn't understand at first, but then I went and saw it again, and it was just like I started to see more and more details that it just made a lot more sense. And I have to say that movie I gave that movie a 9.5 out of 10, just because of the storyline, symbolism, some of the meaning behind it, and just the way that the characters were. I just thought it was just like, whoa. It was very, very much a movie to watch, to kind of give you an idea of like everyday life. Not even everyday life, but certain things that people go through. Altogether, I think it was like a spiritual battle seen on screen. And I thought it was just very well put together. Definitely put a different thing on life. I can say that. That's the best way I could put it. It was just very, very to the T interesting. If you haven't seen it already, go see it. Make sure you pray before you go see it, but definitely go see it. And then the other movie I want to talk about is not even a movie, but this whole thing with Spider-Man AI. Not even AI. It's supposed to be a voiceover that is supposed to happen in the new Avengers movie, I believe. I don't know. It's supposed to be for an Avengers, I believe. But yeah, I don't necessarily like that idea. However, I think it's around the same time he's filming another movie, another Spider-Man movie, so I get it a little bit. Why is it supposed to be like that? I'm sure he's probably not going to have too big of a role, but that would probably be the only thing I can think of why it has to be that way. So I guess. But even still, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. So we'll see how it turns out. And then finally, they're coming out with another Final Destination, which I think is a terrible idea. I've never liked any of the Final Destinations. I've seen one or two, and after that, I was just kind of like, I don't think this is the kind of genre I want to watch. So I don't know. It looks interesting for those that are into it, but I don't think I'll be seeing it. Not sure if I'm a fan. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. That's all I got for y'all today. I hope this episode was cool for y'all. I hope this was helpful. I hope that y'all continue to enjoy what I have to offer and everything that I'm bringing to the table. And yeah, hopefully next episode will be another interesting topic for you guys. So, and I'm actually hoping it'll be the episode where I bring a guest. I'm so excited for that, and I'm super wanting it to happen. So with that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I love the support that y'all continue to give me. Love you. Love yourself. Love somebody else. And be legendary. See you when I see you. Peace.